On DAZN Worldwide, May 2nd and 3rd, a knockout weekend of boxing. Garcia versus Romero and Canelo versus Scull. 2 huge fights. Pick one or go all in for only $90. Exclusively on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
Thank you, Thomas, and thank you again for that little cross-promotion there. I appreciate it. And welcome, everybody, to Fatal Fury, Canelo versus Scull for the undisputed Super Middleweight Championship. I'm Chris Mannix, part of the DAZN broadcast team this weekend, and privileged to be back here in Riyadh, which over the last few years has become home to some of the biggest events in this sport. And this event, this one is no different. Canelo Alvarez, the face of boxing, still one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the entire world, making his first professional appearance outside of North America, taking on William Scull, the undefeated IBF 175-pound champion. We're going to hear from these two men in just a moment, but I want to introduce some of the people up here on the dais. I want to begin all the way to the right. Richard Schaefer, welcome back. Been a while. Thought you went back to banking for a minute. I didn't know you're back. There you go.
You're in banking.
You were part of the team that brought Canelo to the U.S. back in 2010. And here he is, 15 years later, still at the top of his game. Could you ever have imagined back then this type of sustained success?
Well, we knew back in the day when he was 17 years old and we signed him to his first promotional contract that he is a superstar in the making. You know, this is God-given talent, so we knew that he was special, and hard work and dedication, he really propelled his career, and he is today the face of boxing. In my opinion, he is pound for pound the best fighter in the world. So yes, we had those hopes, and we knew they were going to come true because he's very special.
You're a businessman, first and foremost. What do you think of this decision to fight here in Riyadh for the first time?
This is beautiful, to be part of an event like this. And I sort of knew eventually this was going to happen. His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, by the way, thank you very much, not only for hosting this event, but for really elevating the sport of boxing. I knew that the most powerful man in the sport of boxing, Turki Al-Sheikh, and the #1 pound-for-pound star eventually are going to meet and eventually are going to work together because they're made for each other. Two great people, two great fans of the sport of boxing, and so I'm really excited. I know Canelo is super excited to fight for the first time outside of the Americas and to be part of this amazing card, this super middleweight extravaganza, because the fact is you have some of the best super middleweights in the world on this card, of course with Canelo, the pound-for-pound king and the linear champion. You have #5 ranked William Scull, a very dangerous opponent. You have #6 ranked Bruno. You have #7 ranked former world champion Jaime Munguia. You have the silver medalist from Mexico, Verde on the card, who will become eventually step into Canelo's shoes and become the next superstar. So this is really part of a super middleweight extravaganza, and just so happy for everyone to be part of this.
All right, well, appreciate that. And we're looking forward to seeing you again on Saturday. Turn to the man to your left, Frank Warren. Back here in Riyadh, you've been on the ground, Frank, since the very beginning of these Riyadh season shows. Now we have the face of boxing here fighting in Saudi Arabia. What does that mean for the sport?
Well, good evening, everybody. It's brilliant to be back in the kingdom again and to be here in Riyadh, the world's capital of boxing. This is where all the big fights happen, and now the biggest fighter in the world is here. It's amazing. And it's a marriage. It's made for each other. I think it's the 11th show we've been involved with here, you know, with His Excellency and with Sela. Riyadh season, it's just been a fantastic concept. It's been an amazing transition for boxing, what it's delivered, the best fights, and this fight, this man sitting to my left is boxing, isn't he? He's the biggest name in boxing, and he's here, and that tells you what's the strength of Riyadh and the Riyadh season and all what happens here. And it's been, as I say, it's been a joy to be involved with from the beginning.
You've worked a lot of events over at Queensberry. Have you ever worked one where the start time is 6 a.m. local time?
No, I haven't. But I'm an early riser, so it'll be okay for me. I hope everybody else isn't here. But look, that's what happens because of time zones. You know, Mr. Canelo here, he's a massive star in America and Mexico, and this is running to suit their TV schedule, and that's what it is. But the fact it's here, the fact it's happening here, says a lot about Riyadh's season.
I appreciate it, Frank. We'll turn over to Team Scull. And I want to begin with Ingo Volkman, the promoter, representing Team Scull, manager. Big opportunity for your fighter on Saturday night. How confident are you going into this fight that your man can win?
Yeah, first of all, good evening as well. Very proud to be here with my boxer, William Scull, in the Riyadh season. It's a pleasure, yeah, it's an honor, really. Yeah, we are good prepared. It's a big chance to fight against the biggest boxer in boxing, but William Scull is world champion as well, and we try to get the belt from him. And that's it. No, like I said, but it's a very big chance because he's a real great boxer. I like his style, and we are really happy. But like I said, yeah, we try the best to take the belts with us.
So what makes you believe that this man has what it takes to take those belts?
Yeah, he trained very good. He's champion. He made in Cuba about 300 fights as well, like an amateur. He got a good preparation. We were on the hills. We made a real good sparring over a lot of rounds. So, yeah, and I never saw him in such good condition like he is now. So everything is possible.
All right, I appreciate it, Engel. We'll turn to the man to your left, Frankie Saldama. And Frankie, you've known this man, William Scull, for a long time. How confident are you going into this fight?
Sí, en primer lugar, bienvenido. Llevas mucho tiempo conociendo a tu boxeador aquí. ¿Cuánta confianza tienes de cara a esta pelea?
100%. La confianza que tengo es 100%.
100%. The confidence I have in him is 100%.
So what does he have to do to get the win on Saturday night?
¿Qué tiene que hacer para llevarse la victoria el sábado por la noche?
Lo que siempre ha hecho hasta ahora, pelear.
What he's always done up to now, just fight, go out and fight.
You heard Ingo say he's had the best camp in the best shape. Do you feel like he is at his best coming into this fight?
Acabamos de escuchar que ha tenido el mejor campamento de su vida. ¿En tu opinión está en sus mejores condiciones de su vida?
Y sí, la verdad que la preparación fue buenísima, fue muy buena y lo vamos a demostrar el 3 de mayo.
Yeah, the training camp was fantastic. It went really well. And he's going to prove that on the 3rd of May.
All right, we appreciate it, Frankie's. Good luck on Saturday. We'll turn to the right side again and talk to Eddie Reynoso, the legend, Mexican trainer, longtime trainer of Canelo Alvarez. And Eddie, very different fight for Canelo. Different time zones, different training. Has your preparation changed at all for this fight?
Sí, en primer lugar, obviamente es una leyenda, Eddie Reynoso, estamos hablando contigo ahora mismo. Obviamente sabemos que va a haber un horario diferente para esta pelea, has tenido una preparación diferente. ¿Cuánto has tenido que cambiar de cara a esta pelea?
Pues no, es realmente cuando un boxeador tiene disciplina, un peleador con tanta carrera como es Canelo ya tiene toda la experiencia para ajustarse a todo tipo de situaciones. Se hablaba mucho de pelear que a las 6 de la mañana, pero yo creo que un gran campeón puede pelear a las 3, a las 4, a las 12, es lo mismo. Creo que para eso son campeones, para eso se preparan y vamos a estar listos para el sábado.
Now I think a lot of people talk about, the time change, fighting at 6 a.m., but I think when you work with somebody as disciplined as Canelo has that experience, he can adjust to any type of timetable. You talk about it be a 6 a.m. fight, he could be fighting at 3, 4, even midnight, it doesn't matter. He's a fight, he's a champion, and he's shown that and he will go on to show that.
You've mentioned the discipline, and Canelo has been in boxing for a very long time, but at 34, he still is close to the top of his game. How do you explain that? How do you explain Canelo still being this great at this stage of his career?
Se has hablado de la disciplina. Para los 34 años, Canelo sigue siendo en el top de su boxeo. ¿Cómo puedes explicar esto, que sigue siendo un grande a estas alturas de su carrera?
No, pues la formación que tuvo desde que empezaba, la disciplina que él que él manejó desde niño, desde que era adolescente, desde que era un peleador amateur. Y más que nada sus ganas de seguir creciendo en el boxeo, en la vida, creo que es lo que lo ha mantenido con los pies bien puestos en la tierra. Y como tú dices, sus 34 años, pero él es mejor que muchos que tienen 20, y más que nada en el gimnasio, fuera del ring, es todo un ejemplo, y lo que lo ha mantenido pues es, como te digo, la disciplina y las ganas de querer ser mejor siempre.
Yeah, so, you know, one of the things we have to say is that how disciplined he's always been. You know, even when he was in the gym as a teenager, an adolescent, you know, he always showed that he had that willingness and that hunger to continue growing in the sport. You know, and you mentioned there that he's 34, but he's in better shape than some fighters who are 20. You know, he's an example in the ring and outside it. So when you ask me why is the case that he's still at the top of his game, it's the discipline that he shows continually.
You've seen that Cuban style before. About a decade ago, a little more, faced Erislandy Lara. What kind of fight are you expecting from William Scull?
Si has experimentando lo que es el estilo cubano contra Erislandy Lara en el pesado, ¿qué clase de pelea esperas el sábado?
No, sin duda alguna, el boxeo cubano, la escuela es de las mejores del mundo, ha tenido grandes campeones, grandes entrenadores, pero creo que lo del sábado se debe de imponer la escuela mexicana. William Scull por algo es el campeón del mundo, es un tremendo boxeador, es un peleador que tiene muchas cualidades, y más que nada, como te digo, es un peleador cubano con gran escuela. Nosotros venimos aquí a ganar, tenemos muchísimos planes, y William Scull va a ser un escalón más para la carrera de Saúl.
So, you know, what I want to say, you know, without doubt, the Cuban boxing school is one of the best. It's produced some wonderful champions, also some great trainers. But I think what we need to do on Saturday is impose the Mexican school on William Scull. William Scull's a great fighter. He's a wonderful champion, and he comes from a great Cuban boxing school. But we have lots of plans, and we're coming to win on Saturday, and it will be a step up following this fight for Saúl Canelo Alvarez.
Who's going to be harder to get out of bed on Saturday, you or Canelo?
¿Para quién va a ser más difícil levantarse por la mañana el sábado? ¿Para ti o para Canelo?
Pues para quién será, no, para nadie.
For nobody.
Yo creo que para Mauricio, que está allá, para Sulaimán, que acaba de llegar ayer apenas.
I think it's going to be tougher for Mauricio Suleiman, who's just arrived.
No, nosotros estamos listos, por eso tenemos una preparación de más de 3 meses.
Tiene sueño.
No, we're ready and we're prepared for this time zone change.
All right, appreciate it, Eddie. Let's start to the fighters, and let's start to my left, William Scull, the reigning IBF 175-pound champion. And just for clarity, William, it's Scull, right? We're going to go William Scull with the pronunciation.
Para iniciar, se pronuncia tu nombre Scull, ¿no?
Sí, así es, Scull.
That's right.
All right, well, you won this title last year after Canelo elected to vacate the belt. Were you surprised when you and your team got the call that he wanted to fight you?
Sí, obviamente gané este título cuando ya supimos que Canelo había vacado el título. ¿Te sorprendió que te llamaron para esta pelea?
No, sinceramente sí, no, me sorprendió, pero bueno, uno siempre estaba entrenando, ¿no? Siempre estaba manteniendo la disciplina, porque sabía en cualquier momento me iba a tocar la posibilidad, y la verdad que tengo que agradecer al equipo de Canelo porque hayan aceptado la posibilidad de esta gran pelea, y bueno, y nosotros siempre demostrar que siempre estábamos listos.
Yes, so we were surprised, to be honest, but you know, you're always in training and you're ready and you're thinking about the possibility that something could come along about this. And you know, I have to thank Team Canelo for accepting this fight, and we're looking forward to going and having a great fight.
Many have tried to beat this man, only 2 have officially succeeded. What do you have to do to win on Saturday night?
Sí, muchas lo han intentado, solo 2 han tenido éxito cuando se enfrentaron a Canelo. ¿Qué tienes que hacer diferente o qué tienes que hacer el sábado?
Eso se va viendo round a round. Nosotros hemos hecho una gran preparación, soy un boxeador que maneja las 3 distancias, estamos listos para esta gran pelea, y solamente se va viendo el plan de trabajo round a round. No podemos verse locos ni te puedo explicar ahora qué es lo que vamos a hacer, ¿no? Porque si no estamos dándote la comida en la mesa, te la estamos poniendo.
You know, so we'll have to take it round by round. You know, I've had a great preparation, and I'm a boxer that can manage all types of distances within the ring, different ranges. You know, so we'll have to see how that plan develops. We're not going to go crazy throughout the fight, and we're not going to kind of go into the fight plan now, because that would be giving an advantage, putting food on the table of our opponents.
I'm sure you've seen, or you know, there are people out there that are thinking maybe William Scull is just happy to be here, just happy to be in this type of fight. What would you say to those people who think you're happy to be here and maybe not here to win?
Sí, muchos están pensando o quizás diciendo que William Scull está nada más contento por estar aquí y no tienen las ganas para ganar la pelea, porque es suficiente que esté aquí, que esté contento.
Yo salí de Cuba hace 23 años, brinqué 4 países, me enfrenté a culturas diferentes, a que la persona pase lo que está pasando ahora, que se subestime, y yo, gracias a Dios, soy campeón mundial, y yo, gracias a Dios, voy a hacer una pelea unificada con el campeón Saúl. Así que lo que digan la gente no me preocupa, yo vengo a hacer mi trabajo y a demostrar que sí se puede.
Yeah, so I left Cuba 23 years ago. Since then, I've gone on to face fights in 24 countries. You know, I've always faced different cultures, gone into fighting other opponents where people have underestimated me. You know, I thank God for this opportunity to go into Unify. You know, I don't really care what people say. You know, all I know is that I'm going into the fight to show that, yes, you can.
All right, well, good luck on Saturday, William. We appreciate you. Let's turn to the face of boxing, the unified super middleweight champion, Saúl Canelo Alvarez. Canelo, you've been a part of 66 professional fights. Does number 67 this week feel a little bit different?
Feels the same for me. I love boxing, I enjoy boxing, and for me it's the same. I'm very excited to be here in Riyadh. That's the only change. It's one of my dreams. Fighting in another country. Now I'm about to do it, and I'm excited. It's the same for me. It's the same, excited, motivated, and you know, I'm ready for Saturday.
You've been under a pretty consistent routine over the years. You train in Southern California, you go to Vegas to fight. What's it been like training, being in Saudi Arabia over these last few weeks?
Oh, at the beginning it's a little bit difficult, a little bit different, no? For the time, for the weather too, is a little bit heavy, but that's why I come 3 weeks before, because I knew this is gonna happen, but I'm ready now.
You've accomplished a lot in your long career. 4-division world champion, unified champion, undisputed champion. A win this weekend will earn you undisputed status for the second time as a pro. Would that mean something to you?
Means a lot, because it's history for my career. That's what I want, and that kind of things motivate myself, so means a lot.
It's about 11 years ago that you faced Erislandy Lara at 154 pounds. So you're familiar with this Cuban style of boxing. What kind of fight are you expecting to this man, William Scull?
Oh, I expect the same. At the beginning, it's gonna be a little bit difficult, but you know, I'm different Canelo now, and he's gonna feel it Saturday. Believe me.
You've talked a lot over the last few years about guys who are trying to survive when they get in the ring with you in the later rounds. Do you think this man is going to go for it, or do you think we're going to see him try to survive?
I hope so, right? But I don't think so. He say he's going to eat me, but the only thing he's going to eat is going to eat this. Look, this. And everybody talks shit. But when they step in the ring, it's gonna be something different. He's gonna feel something different for sure. Believe me. This is nothing new for me. But for him, it's gonna be something different, and he's gonna feel something different for sure.
How we transition from that, but you're back in what may be the most important fight of your professional career, a rematch against Bruno Surace. How are you feeling going into this fight?
Bueno, la verdad que primero que nada, gracias a todos por estar aquí, gracias a todos los que hicieron posible esta pelea, a Canelo, a Eddie Reynoso, a Sanfer. La verdad que me siento muy contento de estar aquí. La verdad que va a ser sin duda una gran pelea en un gran escenario. La verdad que me preparé a conciencia y les prometo a todos sin duda que va a ser una gran pelea.
So first and foremost, let me say thank you for everyone for making this possible, for making it possible for me to be here. I want to say thank you to Canelo, Zamfer, also to Eddie Reynoso. I'm delighted to be here, and you know what I can say is that we're coming into this fight, you know, conscious of what we're going into, and what I can promise you all is a great fight.
So last December in Tijuana, that was considered by many to be a stay busy fight for you, a homecoming fight for you. What went wrong that night?
Bueno, pues yo creo que pues cometimos ahí ese grave error, ¿no? De salir con la mano abajo, y pues logró conectarme ese golpe. Obviamente vamos a tratar de no vamos a cometer ese error y este sábado sin duda vamos a salir con el brazo en alto.
Yeah, so I think what happened is we went out and committed, you know, that serious, grave error of going in with my hand down, and then the shot connected with me, and what happened. But what I can say is there's no doubt that going into this fight, we'll get our hand raised for this rematch.
You made some changes after that fight, linking up with Eddie Reynoso and Team Canelo. Why did you feel the need to make that change, and what have you gained from it?
Bueno, yo creo que sin duda fue un gran cambio. Creo que pues me he adaptado muy bien a estar trabajando con Eddie Reynoso. Creo que es un gran entrenador, hemos mejorado muchas cosas, hemos avanzado mucho, hemos tenido un gran campamento. Entonces vengo ahora sí que de mi mejor preparación.
Yeah, so, you know, it was a huge change that we made there. I've made lots of, you know, adaptations to now be working with Eddie, who's a great coach. You know, I think I've advanced a great deal and, you know, gone on to kind of develop my style in a way. But what I can say is that it's been the best camp I've ever had going into Saturday.
Is this a must-win fight for you?
Sí, así es.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Well, your opponent had a huge win last December. Bruno Surace, who I think outside of die-hard boxing fans and people in France, not a lot of people probably heard of Bruno Surace before last December. Bruno, how has your life changed since that win?
My life has changed, and today I'm fighting on a huge card, and I know what I do to keep fighting at this level. So I'm enjoying and I'm excited to fight him again.
I'm sure you've heard a lot of people say, well, it was one punch, maybe one lucky punch. How motivated are you to prove that you can do it again?
Yes, people talk a lot about luck, but we all know boxing, and it's why today I'm here facing again. I'm determined to prove otherwise. This fight will be even more thrilling than the first bout.
You got some fans here already in the crowd. What do you have to do to beat this man a second time?
You know, the training camp was all about hard work, and he's a champion. So I know he's been training hard too, and Saturday on May 3rd will be a massive fight.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to it. High stakes fight between two top 100. Busy over the last couple of years. The Badu Jack Foundation is doing great things to help orphans and refugees across the world, but you haven't been in the ring since 2023. So I guess my question is, where you been, man?
I've been in the gym. I've been training hard every day. I've been out of the ring because of boxing politics, but thanks to His Excellency, I'm back.
How frustrating have these last couple of years been to not only not be able to jump up in weight and get a big fight, or to stay at cruiserweight and defend your title?
Yeah, it's been very frustrating, but I always stay disciplined, stayed in the gym, you know, live boxing, that's my lifestyle, and we back like we never left.
You're 41 years old coming into this fight, coming off roughly a 2-year layoff.
Yeah.
Are you expecting any ring rust on Saturday night?
No, absolutely not. And I don't know about 41. I'm not 41.
Right. Well, let me ask you this then. What kind of fight are you expecting from Noel Miguelian?
I mean, I was preparing for another guy, the mandatory challenger, Rosicki, but I expect a tougher fight. now. So we could have picked an easy fight, and we picked him because to get to the unification fight, we had to fight him also. So I said, why not? Let's get him. And he was preparing for another fight. So yeah, here we are.
All right, well, good to see you back, Badu, and good to see you back in a world title fight against this man, Noel Mchunu, the WBC cruiserweight champion in recess. Noel, I'm not going to confuse people with too much sanctioning body talk, but you won the title in 2023. You never lost the title, and now you are here trying to win that full title back. How anxious are you to be recognized as the full world champion again?
Well, I'm the full world champion. There's an agenda being pushed, and I'm here to prove that this agenda is politics. And I've been only out of the ring because of politics. I don't want to go too deep into it, but I'm very grateful to Riyadh Season for this opportunity to fight here. And I was not picked for this fight. I stepped into this fight on 3 weeks' notice because the winner of this fight was going to face me anyways because I'm the current champion. I was put in recess at the convention in December because of politics, and I came back 1 week afterwards and put me back from recess into fighting. So I was preparing to fight for the WBC Diamond Belt at the end of May anyways. And then one guy in this fight got injured, so I stepped in because this is a great opportunity on Canelo's undercard. It's a great show, Riyadh Season. Jack is a great opponent. He has a good name, and it's a pleasure to share the ring with him and get him on my record too. So it's going to be a great fight.
You mentioned that an opponent fell out and you stepped in. How close do you feel you're going to be to 100% taking this fight on somewhat short notice?
I don't care about it. I always find a way, and I will find a way this time too. So don't worry about that.
Part of Team Canelo and getting ready to shine the pro ranks. First time 6-round fight for Marco Verde. Marco, your first time experiencing all this as a professional. Kind of what's been going through your mind during this week?
Sí, en primer lugar, Marco, ¿es tu primera vez como experimentando todo esto? ¿Qué te está pasando por la mente ahora mismo?
No puedo estar más emocionado, pues gracias a Eddie Reynoso por esta oportunidad y por supuesto que la voy a aprovechar.
I couldn't be happier, I have to say. Thank you to Eddie Reynoso for this opportunity, and it's an opportunity that I'm going to take full advantage of.
Well, Marco, boxing is a family affair for you. Your father was an Olympian in 1992. Have you always believed that boxing was in your blood, that boxing was what you were destined to do?
Sí, pues el boxeo, no cabe duda que está en la familia. Tu padre compitió en los Juegos Olímpicos en 1992. ¿Siempre sabías que estaba ahí en la sangre y que habías ese boxeador?
Sí, antes era beisbolista y creo que el béisbol es un deporte que me encanta y que amo, pero aún así creo que el boxeo cuando inicié, siendo que era algo más para mí, lo sentía que lo llevaba en la sangre y pues gracias a eso logré una medalla olímpica y pues ya me espero un futuro por delante.
Yeah, to be honest, I knew before I got into boxing, I played baseball. It was a sport I truly loved, But when I started boxing, I knew it was for me. I felt that it was in my blood, and I think I've got a big future in boxing.
I watched a lot of you in the Olympics. A lot of people watched you win the silver medal in the 2024 Olympics. First time, though, fighting as a pro. What can people who haven't seen you expect to see in your first pro fight?
Sí, ¿qué puede esperar la gente a verte en tu primera pelea profesional? Obviamente te vi en los Juegos Olímpicos en Francia, donde ganaste la medalla de oro, pero obviamente tu primera pelea como profesional. ¿Qué puede esperar la gente de ti que quizás no te conoce?
Por supuesto van a una buena pelea, tanto yo como mi rival nos preparamos yo sé que muy bien, así que va a ser una gran pelea a 6 rounds y pues eso, tenemos muy buena preparación y eso es lo que le daremos a la gente.
Yeah, so what you can expect from the fight on Saturday, Sunday will be a great fight. I think we'll have no doubt both prepared really well for that. So you can look forward to a good 6 rounds after a good training camp.
All right, Marco, good luck on Saturday. Looking forward to seeing you in action for the first time as a professional. Well,
I know my time takes it.
This our main event live worldwide on DAZN. It's champion versus champion. 12 rounds scheduled for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. William El Indomable Scull versus Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Oh, good. Yeah. No. Not back to the middle. Nope. Out of the way.
Ready to press, your favorite. Hang on, Frank, hang on.
This is a rematch. Scheduled 10 rounds in the super middleweight division. Brunello Surace versus Jaime Munguia. Saturday scheduled 12 rounds for the WBC Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Noel, the Dark Horse McKillian versus Badu, Jack the Ripper. Gentlemen, thank you. the big boys of boxing. 10 rounds scheduled in the heavyweight division. Efe, the silent roller Ajagba versus Martin Bakoli.
Now we're talking.
Thank you, gentlemen.